Well, hey, everybody, it's January 2025. Happy New Year to everybody out there. I hope you had a very good New Year. Today, we're going to be looking at the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 8K 30 frames per second action camera. Is it that good? Well, we're going to find out. Now, a quick little disclaimer, Insta360, they did send me the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 for testing. They didn't tell me what to say, they didn't pay me for this video, and they don't get to see this video before it's released. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the Ace Pro 2. So what's new? Well, it's got a new generation 1/1.3 sensor on it that claims 13.5 stops of dynamic range. Now, I don't have any ability to be able to test dynamic range. I'm not Gerald Undone, and maybe he'll do a dynamic range test of the Ace Pro 2. But what else is new on this? It has dual AI chips as opposed to the original Ace Pro's only one chip. It has a new wind muff design that does definitely help with blocking out the wind noise. Has active HDR up to 4K 60 frames per second. And now we can do 8K at 30 frames per second as opposed to the original Ace Pro 1 that could only do 8K at 24 frames per second. But you still have that option in the Ace Pro 2 to do 24 frames per second if that's what you choose. And now it's even got a wider field of view. It's got a 157-degree field of view on it, so it gives you that more immersive feel. And for those that like to go underwater with the camera, it's waterproof up to 39 feet now, as opposed to the 33 feet before on the original Ace Pro 1. And for those of you that are worried about the outside lens cover, now on the original Insta360 Ace Pro, you could not change out the lens cover on it. But now on the Ace Pro 2, if you happen to scratch it or damage it, you can unscrew it and replace it. So that is a nice little feature. So the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, is it the Ace Pro 1? Just a little bit better? Well, yeah, it's more powerful and it's more refined and it's more pro. Now, the image quality in Ace Pro 2 is very, very good, and its focusing distance has been improved slightly over the original Ace Pro. And when I say slightly, it's because of the 8K sensor. And an 8K sensor, you need a little bit more reach on it. Now, in 8K, it is a little bit better than what it was on the original Ace Pro, but still, you want to be mindful, give it some room. Another improvement with the Ace Pro 2 is you get 180 minutes of record time with it now. And also, it's got fast charge capability. So if it's at 0%, you can recharge it from 0 up to 80% in only 18 minutes. So that kind of gets you right back onto recording everything that you need to. But also, if you get the kit below, that I'm going to have in the link down in the description below, you can get an additional battery, so that gives you twice the record time power. And it also comes with a 256 gigabyte A2B30 SD card, so you've got a lot of room there to do a lot of recording. So the question is, how does this Ace Pro 2 perform? Well, we're going to look at some video samples, some low-light footage, some comparisons against the Ace Pro 2 versus the Ace Pro versus the Ace versus some of its competitors like the DJI Action 5 Pro. And then we're going to look at some footage from down in New Orleans, because I was there for a little vacation time and a little project that I did on the side. But anyway, let's take a look at some of that footage right now. Ready, set, go. So you saw some of the footage. Looks really, really nice. And by the way, if you're wondering about this little piece right here, this is something that Insta360 offers. Let me get this to focus. Get it off me right there. And it's a little magnetic clip. Clips right on. Got GoPro fingers that come down if you've got GoPro accessories, or it's got a 1/4 on the bottom of it. So it's really, really easy just to kind of screw on the screw off mounting option. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons of this Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Pros, well, 8K 30 frames per second. Now, a lot of people are going to say, you know what, I've got no use for 8K. And I get that. 4K was a big thing about 5-6 years ago where people were like, my computer can't handle 4K. Well, here it is 2025 and people have newer computers. So 4K is not a problem anymore. 8K gives you the ability to be able to zoom into an image and not lose the quality, especially if you're on a 4K timeline. And now it offers 8K at 30 frames per second as opposed to 24 frames per second on the Ace Pro. Low light performance. Well, you know what? The Ace Pro was the king of low light. Ace Pro 2, in certain situations, I think it's even better than the Ace Pro 1. So low light performance, definitely a solid pro with this camera. Great audio. I mean, you know, when you're talking about a small action camera, being able to get some good, clean audio is always much appreciated. Now that the fact that they've got this little built-in wind muff here on the front of the camera, it gives you the ability to get some clean audio with all that wind ruffling noise. Image stabilization. Well, you know, Insta360 has been very well known for their image stabilization on their cameras. So another pro. Another pro for me is the ability to turn off HDR. Now, active HDR, a lot of people like the look of HDR, but this one has the ability, you can either have it on or have it off. And unlike its competitor, the Action 5 Pro from DJI, where you cannot turn it off, active HDR is always on. If you like a more natural look, you can get that with the Ace Pro 2. Another difference between Ace Pro 2 as far as a Pro versus the DJI Action 5 Pro is H.265. On the Action 5 Pro, it's H.265 or nothing. And for those people with older computers, they're going to have a harder time running an H.265 container as opposed to H.264 that's available on the Ace Pro 2. So you can switch back and forth between the two depending on your needs, file size, and also computer ability. Cons. Okay, well, it's that time to talk about a con. We've got to be honest here. My biggest con about the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is its inability to record in 10-bit video. It records in 8-bit. And you've got the GoPro Hero 12 that could do 10-bit. You've got the DJI Action 4, the DJI Action 5 that can do 10-bit. And there are times where a lot of us out there would like to color grade our footage. And with 10-bit footage, you get to push it around a little bit more. Now, it's not a 422 chroma sampling. It is a 420, but nonetheless, it still gives you that flexibility to really push the colors around. And that's really the one big con about the Ace Pro 2, in my opinion. So I think it's a great camera, and I think it's the one to beat, but, and there's a big but, this is January 2025. We still have to see what the rest of the year has to offer as far as action cameras into the market, because this is still very early on. Will Insta360 bring out a new version? Maybe the Insta360 Ace Pro 3? Will DJI do something? Will GoPro kind of try to crawl itself out of the grave? Because it's not looking good for GoPro right now financially. But anyway, we're going to see what happens on the rest of this year of 2025. But the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, definitely give it a thumbs up. Very good camera. And product links down in the description below so that you guys can check it out for yourself. And we'll see, does the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, does it keep the top spot?